All right, begin.
What's going on, YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. I hope you all are rejuvenated and you're ready to tackle this week. Listen, guys, I know I've been gone for a week, but I'm back with a short video for you guys. So let's talk about this issue that's going down with the owner of True Kitchen in Dallas, Texas, by the name of Kevin Kelly. All right, so you have this idiot in Kevin, right, that goes off on a whole entire restaurant per se, right? And it was mainly occupied by women with the same hue as him. And the reason why he went off is because there was one woman that was twerking to a song that was being played in his restaurant. And according to him, twerking is classless and it will not be tolerated in his restaurant.
Oh, that's good for you, baby.
Now, I want you guys to take a listen to what he had to say. I'm going to play the actual clip and then I'll be back to actually explain my position on this particular matter.
A lot of money into buying this building, into developing this concept so black people can have somewhere nice to go to, okay? Somewhere where we can feel good about ourselves as a, come on, stop the music, please. Somewhere where our people can feel good about ourselves as a culture, okay? Yeah. No, real talk. And so all this twerking and take it to Prime, take it to Pink, don't bring it here because we're a restaurant. And so beyond that, 75% of my customers are ladies. And I'm on men to show respect for themselves for how they carry themselves here. So how can I tell the men to respect themselves and you guys are twerking on glass here? If you want to do it, get the out my restaurant. Because I did it for our people and I did it for our culture. So don't do it now. Don't do it again. I don't want to hear it. If you don't like it, get out because I don't need your money. I need to provide something for my people. And don't do it again. Thank you.
All right, so you heard what he had to say, okay? And basically, I'm not with it, all right? I disapprove of this 1000%. The way he talked to those ladies was just irresponsible and disrespectful. And it was only one woman that was actually twerking. Why not pull her to the side and have a conversation with her instead of you flexing, or better yet, thinking you're flexing on women, right? You want a cookie for that? And taking it out on everybody that was in that particular section, right? That was some soft shit. Dude was a straight for that. How he approached the situation and how he told them that they could get the out of his restaurant. That's not how you talk to customers, especially customers that have the same hue as you. Because listen, the other aspect that I look at is the fact that this was recorded. And once it hit the circuit and it went viral, you know, there were other communities that don't have the same hue as I do that were like, see, this is why we have these rules and regulations in place to govern their actions. So now we don't feel so bad with the rules that we have in place. You know, this is what flexing and trying to show that you're the commander in chief gets you. It gets you your viral moment, but for all the wrong reasons, right? Now, I know that twerking is different from not being able to wear certain clothing in a restaurant, but at the same time, it's the same concept. Basically, you put your people on blast as if they don't know how to act. So what do you think they're going to continue to think on the other side? That we don't know how to act. Now, he did give an explanation to TMZ, right? He sat down and talked to Harvey. And so, guys, let me play the clip and let you hear what this jackass had to say.
There was a festive atmosphere. What is the, it seems like you have a particular problem with twerking. At least that's the way I read it. Tell us about that.
Well, let me explain. First of all, I don't have a particular problem with twerking. At our restaurant, you're always going to hear music because we want to make sure that it's a constant positive vibe for our guests. One of the things that we don't want, though, is we don't want guests standing up in their seats, grabbing glass and twerking on glass. For those who like twerking, we don't have a problem with it. There's lots of nightclubs people do it at. They do it in their home. But at our restaurant, we want to be mindful of that. Our restaurant is one where my mother eats at, my grandmother eats there. My sons work there, and we want to make sure we keep a good environment. And so I'm not here to make any indictment on people who twerk because it gives people a good time, but that's just not something that I can have in my restaurant. One of the most undervalued people in this world, or probably the most undervalued, is Black women. And I'm very mindful of how they look and how they appear. And we have so many classy and nice Black women that come to this restaurant that define what True Kitchen and Cocktails is. And the actions of the women standing on the sofa and pushing on the glass twerking is not that. And so when we talk about advancing the culture, I'm mindful of how we all look as people. And that's why I apologize for using the F word, but that's also why I'm very, very steadfast in making sure that our guests carry themselves in the right way at this restaurant.
But it does then sound like your issue is with twerking. And it's not that it somehow doesn't paint a proper picture the way you see it. And that doesn't seem to distinguish nightclubs versus your restaurant. It sounds like you don't think twerking is the proper way of presenting the culture. I mean, that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, the word you used was classy.
I'm not saying it's not the proper way to present the culture when you're dancing and having a good time at a club, but I am saying it's an improper way to present our culture in my restaurant.
Listen, like I said, this man has the right to have whatever rules and regulations he wants within his business, right? But what I'm knocking him for is the way that he handled the situation. It was very immature, and it was very like a sense of entitlement. I have the power, you know what I'm saying, to tell you this because you're my own people and you're supposed to sit back and just take it. And I think far too often we get too comfortable with each other and forget that we need to respect one another. It doesn't matter just because you're a brother and you created a business for your people, that doesn't give you the right to talk to them any kind of way. You know, when I look at this situation, he's a prime example of why our people don't like to shop or spend their money with our people. You know, we know that when we go to certain places, they're gonna look at us a little funny. They may have these quirky rules, but they're not gonna stand on top of the tabletop. And I know he didn't stand on top of a table. I'm just being extra right now because he was extra and just blurt out, you know what I'm saying? If you don't like it here, just get out of my restaurant. It was just so disrespectful and demeaning coming from a brother. And another thing that I wanna point out is the fact that when he finished giving his speech, those sisters just sat there and they ate their food. Like, they just sat there. Nobody got up and walked out. They just sat there and ate their food. Nobody got up and was like, yo, I'm out of here. You don't talk to us like that. We get that you have a certain vision for your restaurant, but you better respect us. They just sat there and ate their food. Nobody said anything. And where were the men at? I don't care if the men worked there, if they were the cooks, the DJ. He told the DJ to turn the music off. If I was in that situation, I would have checked him about the way he talked to those women like that. Right then and there. Right then and there. Not afterwards. Because guess what? When you disrespect, you know, our mothers and things of that nature in front of me, I'm gonna get you where you act up at. Just like my mom used to tell me when it comes to church. You want to act up in church? You gonna get it in church. Now, let me say this in closing, y'all. If it was a Amy, a Heather, a Karen, I guarantee you he want to talk to them in the same manner that he talked to those sisters. He want to talk to them like that. Listen, let me say this, right? When certain people within our community, they make it to a certain level and they have just a little tad bit of power, they are the worst ones to deal with. They are the worst ones to deal with. I'm telling you this from experience, y'all. From my experience. I'm not going to speak for everybody, but in my experience, I've heard it from other people that when you give our people just a little bit of power, any ownership or things like that, they are the worst to deal with. And just when you think that things may be a little bit smoother because you're dealing with your own people, you'll get a reality check real quick. It doesn't happen like that sometimes. And you know, I'm telling you right now, from experience, our people are the worst to deal with because guess what? They take advantage of us and they expect us to just sit back and just take anything. They'll talk to us in any kind of way and expect us to just roll with it because, you know what I'm saying? We're supposed to be cool. We're supposed to have that level of understanding. But what they fail to understand is the fact that once you understand that you're being disrespected by them and you call them out, then it's a whole different issue. And they'll get you out the door before other people from other communities will get you out the door. Quicker than you can blink, brother and sisters. But anyway, I'm gonna let this go and let y'all have that in the comments. Drop down and let me know what you think about this whole entire video. Drop down and give me your assessments, all right? Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll get with you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.